objective. They are the things.
Go
Am I
on, go on.
breaking?
No, go on, go
Okay.
on. Just started recording.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So they are the things, basically the knowledge and everything that the child is expected to achieve in the process of the learning. It's what is termed as the learning objectives. We also spoke about the content, which we said the content is also things that will be covered during the course of the learning. It could be the topic, the context, concepts, and everything that will be covered during the process of the learning. We spoke about instructional method. Actually, I was cut off during the explanation of this one. So um, I'm hoping I would actually get a recap from you to get that.
Yeah.
And also as well as assessment, I was actually cut off as well. But I just look at assessment to be examining the child in the process of learning. We just go back to see if the child is following by probably assessing the child through exam, assessing the child through probably questioning, giving them activities to work on just to see their knowledge of all that have been taught and how they are pulling along. So that is basically the assessment. We also have the resources, and we said they are the materials or anything that is used in the learning could be termed as the resources. Sometimes, or here in Ghana, we call TLRs, teaching and learning resources or teaching and learning materials. They are the things that guide the educator to have the instructions for the child. And then we spoke about differentiation, which we said they carry diverse abilities of the child and provide opportunities for the child to learn. That is differentiation. We also mentioned the last point being evaluation and revision. And just like assessment, you go back to see what the child has learned so far or what the child has understood during the course of the learning. So you kind of have an evaluation and revision just to assess the knowledge of the child during the course of the learning. I think we also spoke about what curriculum planning is. And we said it's a process of developing the key learning processes that should be achieved. So when you have a plan, when you have a structured out plan to be able to lead you to have the instructions with the child is what we call planning. So you are developing the key learning processes or the key learning objectives or what is needed to be achieved by the educator for the learners. It's basically what we term as the planning. I think I'll end here. There's a lot we did yesterday, and I can continue on and on, but I don't know.
Okay. Thank you so much, Madam. Thank you so much, Madam Olivia. I believe I'm happy that you took something home yesterday. Thank you for the recap. Now, concerning what you said, maybe during while we are going back, as we are going through the recording, as I said, for the 4 days, for the whole recording, the material, everything for the 4 days, I was talking about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and today will be sent tomorrow. Before the end of tomorrow, it will be sent to, it will be on the platform here. So you can go through them wherever you have difficulties, you just follow, you go along.
Sure.
Thank you so much. For today, let's go ahead to what we have for today. It's of great joy. This is one of the things we are doing. We are doing the feedback, right? We are doing the revision, we are doing the evaluation and all that. That's why we have to do a bit of flashback. We go back and see what we learned. All right. Now, for today's class, Module 5, we are looking at promoting social emotional development. Of course, this is one of the developmental domains, talking about the social emotional development that is said. What is it all about? This particular one focuses on the crucial aspect of nurturing children's social and emotional well-being. Now, what are the components of this social emotional development? This is what we have. First is the self-awareness. Self-awareness. as you identifying and understanding one's own emotion. You must know your own emotions. You must understand how your emotion works, how you work. The next one is the social awareness, recognizing and understanding the emotions of others. You cannot understand the emotions of others without you understanding your own. It is from your own emotion that you move further to understand the emotions of others. That is why recognizing and understanding the emotion of others, how people interact, how they behave, how they act, their behavior, their character. Then we go to self-regulation, managing emotions and behaviors in a healthy way. In a healthy way. You know, emotions can be high at times. It could be low, it could be high, can be high, it could be high, could be low. The way you manage it, manage the emotions. See, you can see two kids in a class, when there's an issue, you see them fighting. How do you manage this emotion? How do you manage them? Is it that you support one? You support one and you leave the other one, or you accuse both of them, or you manage it in the way that both of them they have blame. This particular child, this is what you did. This particular one, this is what you did, before you now bring them together and say you shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done this, and there's a good, there's a settlement and there's a peaceful atmosphere. Then the next one, the relationship skills, building and maintaining positive relationship with others. They must know how to maintain positive relationship with others. In this life, it's someone that will help you. They must be your helper. Could be the way your relationship with a particular person, a particular family, a particular man, if a child, an adult, even old people, your relationship, God uses this means to elevate people. Our Creator uses this means to elevate people. There is no how. You don't just become successful on your own. It starts from building relationship. So they must know how to build the relationship, peaceful relationship, cordial relationship, because you don't know where you meet this other person. And if peradventure you don't have a good relationship, when it comes to that time in life where that person is supposed to be to help you, I'm sorry, it's going to be impossible. Looking back at how the relationship was built in the past. Now, decision making. Also teach them how to make the right decisions, making responsible choices, options, picking right options that will help them. It is our job as educators, as parents, as minders, as providers, to teach them the right way of making responsible choices. All right, to move to the next one. The next one is building positive relationship with a child. How to build a positive relationship with a child. Madam, let me go. Madam Chinans, I'm happy that I have you today. You are here. How do you build to your own? What method? How do you build a positive relationship with a child? Whether it's your own, whether the place you work, or your nephews, your niece, cousins, and so on.
Okay, thank you. I think in work related manual, first of all, you earn their trust. The easiest way to win a child is to show that child that you care. You let them know that it's not all that bad. What we always tell them is it can always get easy. For instance, most of them in a setting, a teacher is more closer than a mother to a child, in the sense that that child should be able to tell you anything. But the way your body language, your facial expression, the way you welcome them goes a long way. For us in Montessori setting where I am, how you welcome a child in the morning determines whether the child is coming in crying or happy determines how he or she is going to behave throughout the day. As much as we have regular children, we have the special ones. So it's all about working around it. And like you said, understanding yourself, your own feeling, your own mood. And you know that if we will say 99% of toddlers and children looks at your facial expression and your body language, not actually what you say. I don't know.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chinasa. Exactly. You said the right thing. Exactly. Exactly. You start by being, you are friendly with them. I like that particular aspect. The friendship. Yesterday, I thought Madam Phoebe talked about friendship. First of all, make them your friends. Madam Olivia, you want to add to what Madam Chinasa said?
Yeah, I think she said it all. Just like the friendship is very important. Just bringing yourself to the level of the children and let them know that they are secured around you is very important. Play as they play, and like we said, just be as one of them and let them know that they are safe around you or they are secured around you.
Good. Thank you so much, Madam Chinasa. A good idea too. Good idea too. Now, how look at what we have here to build a positive relationship with the child. The first way is creating a safe and secure environment. Creating a safe and secure environment. A warm and responsive and predictable environment is essential for healthy social emotional development. The environment must be safe, must be secured. That is why you see one of the criteria when building a school is that the place must be safe and secured. If they come for inspection and they discover that the school there's no fence, that's the first thing. When they come, especially Minister of Education here in Nigeria, when they come, the first thing they look at fence. They look at the fence, how it is. The next thing they go to the security. If you have the conventional, the security outfits, all these other ones, not the force. If maybe you have the policeman, you have an army man or civil defense or any other one, they check, they see, and that's that. And the children, the children must feel safe. The parents must feel that their children are safe in your hands and they are secure. Just like we said the other time that you must put them first, their safety and everything concerning them first. That is number one. And if the child knows that you have his or her interest first, they will be so close to you. They see you as their friend, as Madam Chinasa rightly said. Then the next one, the responsive communication. Responsive communication. Actively listen to them. Listen to the children. That is one of the at times, let's teachers, educators, let's parents, let's keep our emotions in check. Let's keep our emotions in check. Someone cannot annoy, someone annoyed us and we extended the anger to them. No. Listen to them. There might be something going on with them. Actively, don't just shoo, go. I don't have time. Listen to them, hear them out. By the time they talk to you and they see that you are always there, anytime they want to talk to you, they want to share what bothers them, you're always there. They'll always come to you. That trust, that closeness, that friendship. At times, some of them will even be closer to you than their own parents in the house. That is another way of building a positive relationship. Now, building trust and respect. Trust, you don't buy trust. You don't buy respect, no matter the money you have. your money can only make people, pretend to trust you, pretend to respect you, but in the real sense, trust is earned, respect is earned. So the children can, the children, they will respect and trust you, or trust and respect you, if you are always available. You are there for them. You are there for them. You take care of them. You listen to them. You interact with them. You play with them. The most important of them all, you play with them. You play with them. You are empathic. You're empathic. You show empathy. You put yourself the way, as in you bring yourself down to their level. Put yourself in their shoes. They build trust. They will trust and respect you. Now, modeling social and emotional skills. Modeling social and emotional skills. Another way is this one, this particular point, modeling social and emotional skills. They learn best by observing adults. They observe adults. They see if you are empathic, if you show empathy. If you show empathy, they look at you if you have self-control. And in your communication, if you are positive in everything you say. Another thing is, for we parents, we should be mindful the way we have, when in couples, normally they have misunderstanding. And when they have misunderstanding, they tend to, I said it before, we learn to check our emotions. And at times we just let it out. We cast everything, but once they are there watching you, there is something that is being kept in their conscious and subconscious mind. If, like, for example, there was a day I had an issue. I had a heated argument with my wife, and my boy was watching. And after that, he wanted to go and try that with his sister. And when I saw it, I told him, "What are you doing?" He said, "Is that not what you are doing with my mom?" That's why. So it's good. So, and you discover that when they see that, they want to practice it. They want to practice what they see you do. They see you as mentor. So whatever you do, be careful of what you do. Even the way at work, you interact with your colleagues. At times in the Montessori school, as Madam Chinasa is, she knows better when it comes to that aspect. You have the minder and you have the main class teacher. And if they are watching to see if your relationship with the minder, because as you, the teacher, you are more, you are higher than the minder. So they are watching to see how you interact, your relationship with the minder. The next thing is family partnership. Family partnership. Collaborating with families and understanding their cultural background is essential for supporting children's holistic development. Partnership with families to understand, is always good. Some schools, they find it's like a taboo. Let me use that word. If they see you, like there's a place that I worked some years ago. I was a teacher, was head of department of mathematics in that particular setting. And what happens if they see you going close to a parent? If they maybe the parent, especially visiting day, you go close to the parents, immediately they book your name down and you are giving query. You are giving a query immediately. And if they feel that they give you, they subcharge you, they call it subcharging. They remove money from your salary just for trying to, interacting with what is good. You are building a relationship with that parent. You don't know where the child comes from. You don't know the issues, the background of that child that is affecting the child's learning. And if you don't partner with families to know what is happening, have a good relationship with them, at times you see these children going down academically. Or if you partner, you see a child not functioning, there is a root. Apart from the normal biological issues, there's a foundation. And that is where the cultural and That is where the family, historical, cultural background comes in. So you have to go close to the parents, partner with them to know what is going on. If the child knows that you are always, talking with the father, how you doing, how's the child, that relationship, that closeness will be there. Know that my teacher is close to my parents. My teacher is close to my mom or close to my dad, close to my uncle. It builds more positive relationship with the child. Okay, now there is one thing I want us to discuss. I want us to discuss on these two modeling social and emotional skills and family partnership. I don't know. Okay, Madam Nkem, good evening. Madam Nkem, good evening. Okay, all right. I want us to discuss on the family partnership. As I was talking about, I was explaining family partnership. Is it right? Madam Chinasa, I'll come to you. I'll start with
Good
you first.
evening.
Good evening, Madam Nkem. Welcome to class today. Happy New Month.
I wish you the best, sir. Good evening, sir.
Okay, welcome, ma. All right. So, as I was telling Madam, I'll start with Madam Chinansa. Madam Chinansa, you help us, please. I want to learn from you. The family partnership. Is it right? Because the digital age now, the jet age we have, it's one of the strategies or one of the ways you can build positive relationship with a child by partnering with the family, the parents, and so on. Is it right for the management of the school or management of a school stopping you from having that relationship with parents?
When you said there's a school that when you're close to parents, they will take away your salary or something.
Yes, I worked there for 15 years, I
Wonder,
know.
I wonder how the school grow, because from my own setting, I'm still pretty young in teaching, just 10 years. I'll be 10 years next year.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, but one of the things that will give you a head up is your relationship. Even the proprietor of the school will tell you that you need to get close to the parent for you to know what the child that is going on. Like you said, you have diverse people, different diversity, everything going on in your classroom. One is like you coming one day, a child that is always happy, you notice that she's not happy. How will you know? In 5 years, some 5 years can, some cannot explain what is going on. So your next step is to ask the mother or the father, whoever that comes around, oh, what's going on? If you can't get close to the parent, it doesn't work. Yeah, that's why we call it collaboration. There must be collaboration in education. I think when there is no collaboration, you're just messing up everything. But for Montessori settings, there must be collaboration, because even in the learning ability, writing, there's a different direction we go, other non-Montessori school go. Okay, for instance, if you have a child trying to write, I'm giving an instance now, okay, you're going to write there's a way you will start teaching a child to write and you're now seeing that the child is writing something different. What the first thing, who is the person you're going to approach? Is the mother or the father, anyone that is coming in to pick the child. When there is a different learner with different two teachers, you have to start curbing it off, letting them know what is going on in school. We call it a school at home. So if you don't have the collaboration with the parents, it won't work. I'm teaching a child how to read with sounds, and you're teaching a child ABCD. We're going to be heading to a ditch to fall into. One day, one of us will snap, and it's not the child's problem. So one thing in school, even if it's not a Montessori school, is collaboration with parents, teachers, minders, and caregivers of the child. That is one key thing. Even where I am presently, the best thing they can tell you is the best collaboration with the parents, because we have special children. How do you do the same? How do we achieve what we want to achieve if not collaboration? So I don't know, maybe the school is scared or the woman too is scared. Yes, some teachers goes ordinary to run the other teachers down or run the school down, which we have had the experience, but that wouldn't bring a situation where you will say, oh no, don't get close to parents. If I'm a parent in that school and no teacher wants to get close to me, I'll pull my child out immediately. If I'm seeing only the head teacher is not a seated classroom teacher or a directress in a classroom. I don't know. That's the way I look at the whole thing.
All right. Thank you so much, Madam Chinansa. Wonderful contribution. I needed to hear from you because you're coming from the Montessori setting where you are actively involved with the kids, the children. Thank you so much for that contribution. Madam Nkem, can you add to what Madam Chinansa said? Madam Nkem, can you add to what Madam Chinansa said?
Yes. Indeed, every positive, just like she said, creating positive relationship with a child, I think that's the discussion. In creating a safe and secure environment, that's what we are dealing with, right?
Yes, ma'am. No, we are talking about family partnership. Actually, if you look at, you see, we are talking about how to build a positive relationship with the child. And we are talking about the family partnership. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Family partnership is very, very important because that collaboration that she mentioned is the most important thing. When a child feels that his or her parents are also involved in the learning process, the child will feel more relaxed because these are people the child have come to trust firsthand. So when the parents and the family members are involved in a child's upbringing and in his learning experiences, it will also internalize the lessons because the child will also remember familiar faces, familiar events, and other circumstances and occurrences around the lesson or whatsoever the child is being taught. So I feel a family partnership is very, very important because it will make the child to feel more secure and safe around the people that are instructing him or her. That's what I want to add.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Nkem. Thank you so much. Madam Olivia, you have what to add to that? You have anything to add to that?
Yes, so I relate to all that they have said. Very important for family partnership. Now, my cousin taught in a school where she was a classroom teacher for basic 5. You know, at their level, basic 5, they are more or less teenagers. And this kid had so many issues, even both at home and back in school. It's the time they begin to see each other, like being attracted to the opposite sex and all that. But this is a school that management, just like you are saying, management has restricted that's, having direct contact with the parents of the kids. So everything probably that happens in the classroom, and you even want to talk to a parent about a particular child, should be passed through the management, example, the head teacher. And there were times she would say that the kids kind of are scared of the head teacher. They don't want their issues to be heard even by the head teacher. And so they felt very comfortable sharing with my cousin than the head teacher. But here is the case, whatever that is shared, she doesn't have access to go to the parents direct to talk to. He has to pass through the head teacher, and he would decide how to handle it. So these kids get scared as time goes on because they know that even if they discuss with the class teacher, definitely their secret is not safe because it will definitely be heard by management. So it was something later on, it was affecting the school because me having trust in you and hoping that my secret wouldn't be shared out, and at the end of it all a management comes to my parents to discuss issues about me. They come to class and they feel very uncomfortable even talking to the madam again, or they lose trust with their teacher, just like we spoke about trust. So I feel like it's good management should give make it a bit flexible for um, teachers to have direct access to the kids' parents, because there are things as they sit in class and relate with them, and a lot of issues they find that sometimes they even have solutions to it by discussing with the parents. Probably you have to organize class for them at home. There are extra things you needed to do with them at home. Is the classroom teacher who is able to, find out all this, because basically they are with the kids throughout the day. So I feel like management shouldn't restrict these activities. But like Madam Naza mentioned, sometimes management is insecure. Probably they don't know what extent you go into. But they are the bosses of the school. So they are kind of just putting measures in place to restrict how you probably have that, opportunity probably to, I mean, I don't know how to say. They don't want you to have that total access with the parents' case, that they will tend to now come to you with issues instead of going to the management. When they do that, maybe the management is now seen as they are not there, you block their shine. So I feel like sometimes they are just doing this to protect their image and as well as security reasons. But I feel like parents and their direct classroom teachers should have that relationship to be able to discuss their children as they are their, let's say, their role models, or they spend more time with them and they know more about them. So I think that's what I have to add.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Olivia. Thank you, Madam Kerman. Thank you, Madam Chinasa, for the contribution. It's a nice one, and we've come to a collective conclusion that it is right for collaboration between teachers and parents, families in general. Now, the next one I want us to talk about is positive reinforcement, because in some schools, management they feel that, to them they feel that you are, when a child does a particular thing, maybe you come and you recite the times table, maybe 12 times table, 12 times 1 up to 12 times 12, and the child does it and you want to praise the child, you acknowledge him by saying, oh, you did well, wonderful. You begin to praise the child at times, even though it is um even though it is against the Ministry of Education, it is against the ethics of teaching, that you give a child anything without the approval of the management, maybe sweet, biscuit, or anything. It is strictly against the ethics of education. So, and at times you, out of that joy, out of the happiness, maybe you had something, you just, oh, take, you know. And at times they feel that it is bribe, you're bribing the child to, like you or to love you more than the other person. Because, um, in some cases, not all, it doesn't happen like that, because there are some children, no matter what you give to them, the way they take you, that is how they take you. And there are some children, you give them things, they tend to, that thing, like that thing that you've given to them, tends to be like an attraction that attracts them to you, you know. So the discussion I want us to discuss, is it right for you to constantly praise the child, after the child must have done what you say or you said the child should do? Madam Chinasa.
Depends. To me, there's what we call rewards, and in rewards, it wasn't in my own situation in my classroom. When I do rewards, I don't bring in biscuits or sweets. It's strictly stickers, because one is against the school rules. bringing in anything, giving a child anything. But then we have what we call award charts. If we do this from the beginning of the week, there's a certain things we put during the circle time. If you meet it, you get your award you get your sticker sticked on your chart. If at the end of the week you have the highest award, you have your reward. It's either there's a book reward, or at the end of the term, annually, when they are leaving to primary school, when you look at the total or the sticker reward you've gotten, we have to now put it in terms of books and in terms of certificates. Or you get to serve this classroom for some time, being their prefect or something. So that's how we take rewards. We don't give them anything to eat. You earn your rewards. You earn your whatever you get. You earn it.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chin. Thank you so much, Madam Chinansa. Madam Olivia. Olivia, can you add to that? Madam Olivia. Okay, maybe she's having network issues. Madam Nkem? Madam Nkem? Madam Nkem? Okay. Talking about the positive reinforcement, as Madam Chinansa said, I think I go with what Madam Chinansa said, that as it is against the ethics and what binds teaching together, even when the child is having headache, you as a teacher, you can only refer the child to the necessary and appropriate quarters for that to be looked at. But you don't have the hand to give the child anything. Likewise, when it comes to, because there's this confusion that goes on, that some teachers want to go further. They say reward, they might not really understand that aspect, and they want to go further and do what they are not supposed to do. But the fact still remains that whenever a child does a particular thing, the child deserves to be honored, the child deserves to be encouraged, so that will continue doing more, better than what he or she did. Then the next one is the modeling social and emotional skills. You see, this one, when we are talking about it, we talked about children learn best by observing adults. Children, they learn best by observing what the adults do. So in this particular aspect, how, because you work with teachers, you work with management, you work with people that are lower than you, in terms of, not as in you are looking down on them, but in terms of maybe the office you work with people, and those are higher than you, those are lower than you, those are at the same level with you. You discover that at times you have a misunderstanding in school. Even as teachers, you have misunderstanding, and it comes a time where you have to, open and you speak up and all that. So how do you cope this? Because there are some people, no matter whether I say change your mindset, there are some teachers, I've worked with a lot of them. By the grace of God, we've had these experiences. Madam Chinansa, you have your own experience. You said making 10 years now, you are still gathering experiences, you have it already. And Madam Kem told us the other time that she has taught for many years, that she just dabbled a bit out of teaching. And Madam Olivia has her own experience. So, and in my own, let me give you my own experience. I work with, in my own setting, teachers, they want to, as of that time, 15 years ago, I worked in one of the international, they said, according to them, they said it's one of the most best, if not, no, not best, one of the best schools in Nigeria, international schools in Nigeria. I won't mention the name. And every staff, every teacher there wants to use you to climb, wants to use you to find favor in the eyes of the chairman or his wife. Because the school, even though they say the school is owned by all of us, they used to use the word all of us, but the school is owned by just 4 people or 5 people. The chairman, the wife, the 3 children, making them 5. Any other person is not important. Hire and fire. So in this particular week, when we have children, we had as of that time that we had more than one. We had 1,250 children all around, talking about the Montessori, nursery, primary, secondary school. We had 1,000 something, 1,250 or thereabout. But the fact is that every staff, you don't trust the next person, and the next person does not trust you because the person wants to use you to climb. The children are watching. They know because they are observing. They know. They know. So in this case, in a setting like that, how do you model? How do you become a good model for the children? In a setting like that, how do you become a good model for the children? Madam Nkem? Madam Nkem? Okay, Madam Olivia. Madam Olivia?
Yeah.
Okay. You heard the question, right?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
Hello.
Hello, we are hearing you, Madam Olivia. Go on.
So, like you said, the children see. They see what's happening. They see that there's no good relationship among staff. And yet you want to model or you want to be a good model to them. I feel in that circumstance, you as an individual need to be yourself, be your true self. Where you need to speak up, you should speak up. Though it's sometimes not easy to be the odd one, it's sometimes hard. Everyone just wants to follow, that tangent or the trend. But I feel if you really want to be a good model for these kids in a situation like this, you just need to be your real self. Because even as they see that there's no good relationship among staff, they still see individuals. So they know who is pretending and who is not. So being your real self in that situation would be the only way out, because the kids are watching and they would want to definitely emulate someone who stands for the truth or who is always ready to speak up instead of shielding things or also going about just pretending. So I feel like you need to try your possible best to be yourself. Yes, even though relationship is not good among you, where there is the need, try to build that relationship. Just try to be yourself. Do everything to maintain a positive relationship with your staff and that of the children, so that you don't always be the one to you don't have to be the one who they are seeing as the one who starts up fight or whatever. But where the need arises that you need to speak up, you also need to speak up. In this case, I don't want to say you should know your rights, but I mean, you should know what you stand for. You shouldn't allow yourself to be used whereby you want to pretend just to please others while the kids are watching. So it's good to be truthful, be honest, and then as the children are watching, they'll definitely learn from you. And I think it will be a good modeling.
Okay,
That's what
thank you. Thank you, Madam Olivia. I got something from that. You said, be yourself. Be yourself in all situations, circumstances. Okay, thank you, Madam Olivia. Madam Chinansa, you have what to add to that? Madam Chinansa, do you have what to add to that? Add to what Madam Olivia said. Okay, Madam Nkem? Madam Nkem, are you back?
Yes,
Madam
I'm
Kem?
here.
Okay. Do you have anything to
Yes, I'm
add to
here.
what? Okay. Okay. Do you have what to add to? You have anything to add to what Madam Olivia said?
Constantly. So
Okay.
I heard her partly, but I didn't even get the question when you
Okay.
were
Okay.
there
Okay. Let
to
me
her.
make it clear to you. What happened is that we are talking about modeling social and emotional skills, and um, this has to do with the children learn best by observation. They observe what is going on. By observing adults. That is how they learn. Now, in a situation, I was given an instance where I worked in a place where everybody,
Yes.
every staff, your colleague there in a particular school wants to use you to climb, while the children they are watching, they know that they want to use you. Everybody is a suspect. Let me put it that way. Everybody is a suspect. You don't trust even the person you say good morning to. You don't trust the person's good morning, because what they want to do, they want to use you to, any little thing that happens, they want to run to the chairman of the school or the wife or the children to tell them this is what you did, so that they will find favor. And you likewise, that is what you do. The children are watching, they are observing, because they are learning and they want to build relationship with you. So in this particular case,
Hello.
what do you do? Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, I said in this particular case, what do you do?
Okay, what you should do as someone who is modeling a positive character.
Oh, sorry, like network is affecting you. Can you hear me? Madam Kem?
Hello.
I
Hello.
can hear you.
Yes,
I
I
can
am
hear you.
struggling. Okay. Honestly, most parts of the questions were cut off by my network. I'm trying to see how I can get a stable one.
Okay, all right, it's okay. Maybe we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that because network is affecting the communication. All right, as of now, is exactly 7:01. And I told you we have two models. They are not big ones. We've done the main work. All these ones are just, interactive, just be discussing. We've done the first model and the second that covers the whole work. So when we come back, we'll go on a break, just 15 minutes break, so that we stretch our legs. And when we come back, we'll go to model 6. Model 6, creating, which talks about um, creating inclusive learning environment. So we'll just go on a break. We'll stretch our legs for 15 minutes. And once it is 7:15, we'll be back and we'll continue. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Madam Chinanza. Madam Chinanza? Madam Kem? Can we continue? Madam Olivia? Madam Olivia, can we continue? Madam Olivia, Madam Chinanza, Madam Kem, are we back? Can we continue? Can we continue? Maybe network issues. Network issues. Okay. 717.
Yeah, they keep on kicking me out and
Okay. Okay, how is your network now? I can hear you. I can hear you.
yeah,
Madam
I
Kem?
mean they keep on kicking me out.
Okay.
Yes, I'm
All right.
back.
All right. All right. Okay. All right. We can continue. Okay. The next, Madam Kem. All right. Okay. Madam Kem.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. All right. I wanted to make sure that you are back. I wanted to be sure that you're back.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm back.
All right. Let's go. Let's go on. Now we are going ahead. We are looking at module 6. Module 6, creating inclusive learning environment. Creating inclusive learning environment. Madam Kem, when we talk about inclusive learning environment, what are we talking about? Inclusive learning environment. What are we talking about? Madam Chinanza? Madam Chinanza? All right. Madam Olivia? Madam Olivia?
Yes.
Okay, okay. When we talk about inclusive learning environment, what are we talking to you? What do you understand by that?
Okay, so in my understanding, inclusive learning environment is an environment that is welcomed by all. Every child is free to participate. Every child has every child's need has been taken care of in that particular environment. It's an environment that welcomes every learning um, ability of
Can
every
you hear me?
child. So some children are there, they're probably slow
Okay.
learners, others are fast learners. Some children are naturally slow in nature, others are quiet, others are very hyper. We also have the disability type of children. We call them special children. So this is an environment that um, make sure that all these children are being put into consideration in that environment. So all these children needs are being taken care of, whether in designing your curriculum, whether planning out your activities, and even the environment itself, the classroom itself. It should be able to take care of individual learning needs, depending on every child and their learning needs. Each child should be free to participate and benefit from the environment. So, example, if there are special children, how is the design of the classroom that this special child is also able to make it possible or easier for this child to be able to learn? Is the teacher making time for children who are probably slow learners, who have a kind of a learning disability, that they are not able to go as fast as the other colleagues? are all this taken into consideration? I think this is an inclusive learning environment, in my opinion.
Nice one, nice one, nice one. Nice one, Madam Olivia. Nice one. Madam Nkem, Madam Nkem, what do you have? Do you have anything to add to that? Do you have anything to add to that? Oh, she has gone. Madam Chinansa, do you have anything to add to that? All right, Madam Olivia, you said something that is very, 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 very remarkable, very, very interesting, fascinating. You said something that's very, very fascinating. And you said that inclusive learning environment is an environment that stands for all kinds of learning. When I say all kinds of learning, talking about all kinds of children that wants to participate in learning. Talking about you have the disabilities, which is the special ones you said, the ones that are fast in learning, the ones that are low in learning, the ones that don't even understand learning at all, the ones that don't even know why they are there. As you can see in the image we have, you can see children of diverse, environment, diverse entity, diverse backgrounds. You can see that they are, what are they doing? Everybody is learning. You see the ones that are black, you see the ones that are black, you see the ones that are dark, you see the ones that are chocolate, you see the ones that have blonde hairs, ebony. Hello, I can hear you, Madam Kem. Madam Kem?
I can barely, and it's now I started hearing everybody. I think network is very horrible.
And I was calling you since I thought I was calling Madam Chinansa, Madam Chinansa. Ma?
Sorry, it was network that made it impossible for me to respond to you.
Okay, all right. Okay. Now that you are back, I want to hear from Madam Chinansa because Madam Chinansa this is her field. Madam Chinansa, please, can you share more light? We are talking about inclusive learning environment.
Okay. I think Montessori is more about inclusiveness because in Montessori you see you have to carry everybody along. There's no ethnic differences. You have to just, the only thing you do is just respect their different personality and everything. But inclusiveness, both blind, anyone, like in my section, we have special children. And because of the method, most of the time, we have those things that said, show me, don't tell me. So most times you show them, but you don't tell them what to say. Most times you sit, because one, you have modeled it to them, they'll be the one to know that there's no differences between this A and this B. To me, more like when we talk about special children and Montessori, it's only adult that is seeing something different. The children involved are not seeing anything different from them. So it's all about carrying everybody along, not inclusiveness more depends on the teacher, the way you model in your classroom, the way you manage your classroom. I think so. Hello? Everybody have disappeared again. Hello? Oh, this network is really frustrating today.
I thought the network issues are only in Ghana. I thought it's only in Ghana.
No, this one, these days, it's really getting everybody frustrating.
It's so frustrating.
Oh, sorry about that. It was network. Sorry. Sorry, network as it doesn't happen like this, but you know, Nigeria has joined Ghana. So no offense to Madam Olivia. Okay, thank you, Madam Chinanza. I appreciate that contribution. Madam Kem, Madam Kem, I want to hear from you. I've not heard from you today. I want to hear from you. We are talking about inclusive learning environment. Network does not want Madam Kem to talk.
Hello, I don't know. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Network, why are you stopping Madam Kem from talking?
For me, less of their. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go on, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on. Oh, it's like network is making.
Is a place where they feel safe, where they feel supported in their learning journey. So it's in inclusive learning environments, the educators ensure that all children there have equal access to education and opportunities in learning in the classroom and outside the classroom. So children will not be treated differently. There will be welcoming atmosphere for everybody. There will be kindness and respect for every child. There will not be any form of segregation across any strata or any form of anything outside that learning program will not be factored in. And the teachers in this inclusive program will try as much as possible to use multiple ways to teach these children. There will be adaptive measures and strategies to teach them in this inclusive learning environment, because you know there are early learners or fast learners in the class. Before you finish the lesson, they're already picking up, asking questions. If you don't look at this inclusive strategies, a teacher might end up assuming that everyone is following, whereas in the truth, so there will be adapted teaching strategies to ensure that everyone is following. We can engage the children on hands-on activities and use visual aids for those ones that will not, catch these things fast enough, like the fast learners. So that's more of what I think an inclusive learning environment is all about.
Oh, so, okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Madam Kem. Thank you. I appreciate that explanation. Thank you so much. Now, we can see this is an image, this is an example, an illustration of an inclusive learning environment. You see, everybody is involved. The teacher is involved. The children from vast and different, diverse backgrounds, they are there participating in the lesson. An inclusive classroom embraces all children, regardless of background, ability, or learning style. It's every child, regardless of where they come from, as we have all said, to sum everything that we've said, embraces all children, regardless of where they come from, their ability or their learning style. They must be included in the classroom. As Madam Chinanza said, no, you don't know, how do you call it? You are impartial. You are impartial. You carry everybody along, whether your relationship with the parent, or the special relationship you have with the child, maybe the child is so drawn to you, you carry everybody along. Creating an inclusive learning environment where children feel welcomed, valued, and supported to reach their full potential. A child comes to all the children in school. There is no different school fees. The school fees, if they say for newcomers, you are coming the first time, this is your first time, is 100,000. Or everybody coming that time, they paid 100,000 and they must be involved. You as the teacher, all of them, as long as they have fulfilled all righteousness for them to be in that school, they must be there. Likewise, the ones that maybe second term, you are now an old student, you will not pay like a new student. As long as you have fulfilled that particular right, you have fulfilled that aspect, you are to be involved. For all genuine reasons, you must be involved so that you can reach your full potential. Now let's see, adapting the environment and curriculum. Adapting the environment and curriculum to meet diverse needs. Yesterday, we talked about some of these things. That's why I said it's just like a recap of everything we've seen in the introductory aspect, in the module 2, and the third one, and so on. Now, we talked about differentiation. We talked about how different you bring in involve different activities. Differentiating instruction involves tailoring activities and materials to meet the individual needs and the learning styles of each child. So you bring in different materials, different materials that will, meet the learning, the style. The particular child needs this, the particular child needs that. Bring all of them, different things, bring all of them so that I can meet the needs of that child. Now, creating a sensory-rich environment. I know this one is there. They said the environment should be stimulating and cater to different sensory learning styles, including visuals, audio, kinesthetics. Now, when we talk about the visual, some time ago when our kids do go to they were in KG kindergarten play class, I used to ask myself, I'll tell my wife, what can these children stay in the house? What are they going to do in school? They don't carry books, only what they put in their bag is just Pampers. Pampers, diaper. That's all that they put in their bags. Nothing else. No book, no nothing, and a clothes in case they eat themselves or they by mistake they do it inside their clothes. They can change and wear them in another clothes. And that's all. And I was telling, what do we are just paying their fees not for nothing. But I discovered that when they go out there, they learn. The visual is there. The visual is there where they learn, these rhyming skills, especially these rhyming skills, they put in form of music for them. And you see them, they sit down. When I go to pick them, you see all of them sitting down. Some they've slept, some will be sitting down. They'll be watching. You see the environment is stimulating them to learn. It's stimulating them to learn. The visual, you put the visual there with it, it's stimulating them, making them to sit down, concentrate, because some of them, they are restless. So that thing will make them sit down. The environment is stimulating them. They'll sit down, watch the visuals, listen to how it goes, and at times they move. They move from one place to another. Now, the next thing is because there are some schools that, some teachers, they have special relationship with parents. That is where it comes, where I was talking about the school that I worked, and maybe management does not want you to have relationship with parents so that you not show favor, you not favor one and you leave the other one. One will not lack. We are talking about the inclusive learning environment where you favor one and leave the other one to be like that. Because you are not to teach the children, or you are to teach the child. That means teaching the child you are forming an inclusive learning environment where you carry everybody along. But if you teach the children, whether they get it or not, you believe that they've gotten it, just like Madam Nkem said. The teacher, you believe that they've gotten it. That's why you have to teach the child by bringing in the inclusive learning environment. So the points we want to discuss now is you are close to a parent, you are close to a child, you like a child maybe because of the way the child is so obedient, even as parents in the house, and there's a particular child that is dear to our heart. Let me put it that way. Even though as much as we try to deny it, it's like that. But in the real sense, is it right? Is it right to favor a child? Maybe because of the relationship, maybe because of the background, maybe because the person has the same cultural setting as you, as your own. Maybe you speak the same language, or you have things in common. Is it right as a teacher to favor that child and leave the rest? Madam Chinanza. Madam Chinanza? Oh, she's not here.
Yes.
Madam,
Yeah,
okay, yes, madam.
I'm here.
Okay, Madam Chinanza, go on. Let me hear from you.
What do you say?
You said?
Okay, I didn't get the topic. Where we are now?
Okay, we are at adapting the environment and curriculum to meet diverse needs. We've talked about differentiation. Let me remove this so that you can see. We've talked about differentiation, and we've talked about creating sensory rich environment. Now bringing things, the environment should be stimulating and cater to different sensory learning styles like visual, audio, those things you play for them to watch. Now, the fact is that there are some children, some kids that are so close to us, maybe as a result of cultural background or historical lineage, or by reason of we are close to the parents used to give us maybe tips, assist us one way or the other. Now, is it right? Because there are times people do argue this. Is it right for a teacher, educator, administrator, owners of schools, or caregivers, providers to favor a child because of this reason? Or because a child is so stubborn and the other one is not, you tend to favor the one that is calm and leave the one that is stubborn. Is it right?
To me, no. In our investigation, even in teaching ethics, a child being stubborn what do you tag being stubborn, and the favoritism of it. Why do you have, if you have your relative or friend of a friend daughter in your class? Children, we always say they're like a plain book. If you show favoritism to one, they will know and they will start talking about it. But you as a teacher is kind of, are you doing the right thing? Favoring the child at the moment because he or she is in your class, by the time he or she leaves your class, how would his performance be? It's just like a lesson tutor. If the child is in your class, you are taking the child lesson at home, you have the privilege or the opportunity to have questions and give it to that child. And the child keep coming out the first. When the child leaves your class and performance drop, there's something my mother used to say, because my mother is a teacher as well. You do things, teaching job is something you work with, and you have to be careful because it's going to come back to you. If you favor a child, give him a mark or a high mark, you are not doing the best for the child. The management, now I'll give you a scenario. In my school, there's this boy, he's just a boy everybody loves, and he is brilliant. So all of a sudden he dropped. The management singled it out. Why did he drop? Now, to me, you won't call it favor, you're favoring him, but then you're questioning this child has been an A student, A star student, all of a sudden dropped to a B. You look at two ways. If the A is not there, B is not there, then you look into the home. But in a situation where they are having a phase because A didn't get it and you want A to get it, you find your way. It's not something, his teaching job is all about discipline. The way you do your curriculum and make sure you meet it up without nobody monitoring you. I look at it that way.
Oh, thank you so much, Madam Nasa, Madam Chinansa. Thank you for that. Madam Olivia, do you have what to add? Do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, I think it's just a no-no not to favor children due to whatever reason. Even we as adults, we normally feel the negative impact when at our workplaces, social gatherings, or wherever we find ourselves as a community. You realize that others are being loved, others are being favored than you. Sometimes you feel the impact, and it's not a good feeling at all. Everyone wants to be loved. Everyone wants to belong, and naturally, that is who we are as humans. So no matter what, I think children, especially as they are, should be loved equally, no matter what. That's why you are an educator. Your work there is to pull everyone along. So the moment you do that, you begin to demoralize the children. You bring their spirit down, and it will even go a long way to affect.
Madam Olivia. Oh, my network has come again. All right. Madam Kem, do you have what to add? You have anything to add?
Okay, I'm going to add a few things to that. Favoring a child for whatsoever reason is not the reason is that these children already look up to some children will hold arguments with their parents in support of the teacher. Our teacher said this, our teacher said that, because they hold the teachers in high esteem and they want to believe that their teachers are mindful of their growth and development. So when a teacher is now favoring a child, maybe because the child is calm and the other one is hyperactive or whatsoever, the teacher will create an unfair learning environment, and it will negatively impact these children. It will negatively impact their self-esteem, their behavior, their sense of, sense of worth. And for these children, they will now start finding ways to gain the teacher's approval. That means the teacher has set a very bad example. So you will see children maybe suppressing their natural abilities and curiosity or enthusiasm or hyperactivity tendencies just to seek approval of the teacher. And when that happens, the child will weaken his or her potentials in several areas, because the child may be looking up to whatsoever that will be done to gain the teacher's approval again. So it creates a very bad learning environment that will affect the children. Some of them will disengage from the class once they feel their teacher is not showing them the same level of favor and the same level of should I say positive reinforcement. If it's not coming equally, if the teacher is not appreciating everybody equally, some children, disengaging from the class, and it's not beautiful. So I think it's not something that should happen in an inclusive learning environment.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. This discussion is as a result of the topic, this model, which is inclusive learning environment. Everybody must be involved, regardless the character, the attitude, the behavior, the way of life. Every child must be involved in learning. Okay, the last but not the least for today, how do we create an inclusive classroom culture? How? Madam Chinansa, how? As an experienced teacher, you are working with a Montessori school. How do you create an inclusive classroom culture?
How do I create
an inclusive classroom culture?
First of all, like I've all said from the beginning of today's section, positive attitude, welcoming attitude, ground rules as one thing. Once you have a ground rules, and in your ground rules, you have to go with you have to make sure everybody is involved. During the circle time, you talk about it. And then when in times of education materials, in a Montessori setting, all the education materials from math, sensorials, and cultural sciences, they're all childlike materials. So with a Montessori environment, I've already created itself an inclusive environment for you, the directress. In Montessori, we don't actually do much. We do more observation. Try to put your curriculum in place. We don't teach. We show them. Most times we don't even talk to them. Your hands and your eyes does the work. So most of it, you don't raise your voice on them. Call it, use your inner voice. During the time of timeouts, you have a moderate way of correcting or disciplining them. But before you can do that, you need to make sure that he or she understands the reason. Now, I'll give you an instance. On Friday, I have a little bit issue with a child. He's 5 years. Minding you that most of them knows how to tell a tale. I don't say they tell lies, but we say they tell a lot of tales. So I have 3 special children in the classroom, and most times you have already modeled the way to work with these children. By the time you step into second term, they started doing exactly what you are doing. But some want to forcefully push. So she was telling the boy, sit down here. And I said, sit down here. And as an adult, I have not used it in the classroom. So you picked up that tone immediately. Say, wow, hello friends, we use such tones? No. You use your magic words. She started crying. I said, oh, okay, you need to stand up and move a little bit backward out of the circle time. She started crying like vigorously, and I was minding 3 classes because the other 2 class teachers, the other directors, I don't know what happened to them. So I already have like 18 children with just a caregiver that won't do anything with you there. I said, okay, can you step out of the door and stand on the circle? When the head of the preschool came, she met her crying. When she asked, I said, I didn't do anything. She just sent me out. But do you know that child is right in some aspect? Because I didn't explain to her why I sent her out. So sometimes in a discipline mode, just make the environment friendly as much as you can. no matter whether some doesn't even talk well. If you can bring up conversation, in as much as you cannot hear what they're saying, oh, that's right. So how did it happen? The child will keep talking. So that's, to me, creating an inclusive environment. First of all, have to deal with the teachers, because the setting of the school, in a real Montessori school, the classroom already have materials that is child inclusiveness. Then it's left for you, the adults there, to know how to manage your home. It's just like husband and wife. If you see a child from a happy home, you know. If you see a child from a troubled home, you know. If you see a child that is loved at home, when he or she comes to school, he or she loved the other ones. Oh, are you okay? You see children talking like adults. You know that, oh, this one is from a lovely home. Are you sure you don't want water? Oh, Miss Chinasa, you look so lovely today. That's a child of 4 years admiring you. So it's all about how you create your environment. I always say, my own quote is always been, the way you start your day tells what your classroom be like. If you start is grumpy, your students will be grumpy, and I don't think you will like it. The time it will take you to shout on a child or frown your face, by the time you are calming that child down, you wouldn't have frowned your face or shout. That's my own theory. I don't know.
No, thank you. Oh, Madam Chinasa, thank you. Thank you, thank you. You deserve a star. You have a star. You said something like that, so you deserve a star. All right, Madam Nkem, how how do you show them that you are a positive role model? Because we are talking about the inclusive classroom culture. How do you show them that you're a positive role model?
Okay, just like we have said already, is to be that example that the children will see. You, as a teacher, should show empathy when the children are showing up in the morning, the way you receive them, your emotional expression, your level of enthusiasm, and the friendship you build with them from the time they show up will show them that you're actually a good role model. And then these children will also interact with this teacher throughout the day, seeing the teacher using multiple ways to teach them, seeing how the teacher is engaging everyone with visual aids or hands-on activities or storytelling or plays and games. So these children will actually see that really this teacher is interested in us, this teacher is into us. But there's something about children, they recognize someone who gives them care and attention. That's why sometimes they open up to their teachers more than some of the parents that don't know how to handle them. So you see, you can really show them that you are out for them. And if this child is struggling to get the lesson, you can adjust your instruction method and all of that accordingly. The child will see this teacher as a positive model and somebody who is interested in them. So this teacher will go on to foster this welcoming atmosphere to make these children feel welcome and you know, to make them feel that their backgrounds and their limitations will not stop them in life. So the children will learn that, oh, I have this constraint, I have this limitation or disability, but it's not going to stop me. I would rather celebrate my difference in disabilities and all of that. I would rather embrace my true self and, you know, grow into what God has in plan for me. So the teacher should use several methods to make this child to feel, or the children in the classroom to feel recognized. And then I've said it before, the teacher have a lot to do. It has to do with the teacher. And then gradually these things will begin to rub off on even the parents and all of that. So another thing is this technology. The teacher can use these things in a way that the children will begin to look up to him or her as someone who knows what to do to drive home a lesson. So the teacher can guide these children, make them feel relaxed, use some technology or assistive technology or tools or devices to help them understand a concept better. Children would definitely see this teacher as a positive model or someone they can always look up to in terms of learning or any difficulty they encounter in their learning journey. That's how I see that.
Oh, thank you so much, Madam Kim. Thank you so much for that wonderful contribution. Then, last but not the least, Madam Olivia, how do you celebrate their differences? Because we are talking about inclusive learning environment, inclusive classroom culture. How do you celebrate their differences? Madam Olivia? Madam Olivia? And then she's having network issues. Okay, Madam Chinansa, can you help us out with that? How do you celebrate their differences?
Okay, the difference is, in Montessori, we have different goals, we have different curriculum, we have grouping, and we have everybody is not on the same pace. So if you remember when I said the rewards, the chart and the rewards. So for every milestone, you celebrate them. You make them feel special. Some will just want to dance, some will just want you to clap for them. You let them know that they have really did something very good. I have this, I always use my classroom because I have both the regular child and special children there. So when you see a regular child counting 1 to 100 and the special one trying to get up to that 50 as in on his own or her own, you clap, you see that joy because you have created the environment and the other ones will see, they're not seeing it like, oh, I counted 100, he's counting 50 and they're clapping for him. No. So it depends on the atmosphere you've already created. We care, we share, and the tone you use, your body language. Yeah, sometimes some children can make some funny things. You try to, but in your lonely part, you just wave it off. So I think the basic thing is celebrate each person, each child on their pace. Oh, you cannot read, but this means this person reads better than you. That's not even allowed. What do you want them to read now? I have one that can't read. I have one that is already reading. And you have to pair the two together. And even the one that is reading, you see that one encouraging the one that can read. Oh, come on, you can do it. Because that's what they hear you say. And the moment that one reads, even if it's one line, you see the other children clap, wow, you did it, you did it. It's just like a football. Once you're able to score one goal, they will celebrate you. And you get a sticker. And that's the biggest smile on their face any day they get a token or a sticker because they know I've done very well today. On the other way around, you have to still, oh, you would have done better and it's easy. Like what? Lemon squeezy. You have your jazz, you have your cheer voice and what to do it. To me, that's what I use in classroom.
Okay, Madam Chinansa, thank you so much. Hi, Madam Chinansa, you sure I will not send your name to BCC UK so that when we call on people to come and share their ideas, experiences, are you sure I will not send your name to BCC UK? Because you have it. You have it. You know, some people, they go, this is, when you talk like this, I see the education passing through you, but you did not pass through the school. So I think I think that's a plus. Thank you so much, Madam Chinansa. Madam Nkem, you have anything to add as we wrap up? It's already 8 o'clock. You have anything to add? We are talking about celebrating their differences. Do you have anything to add to that?
Okay, they have said it all, and the little I would say is that these their differences that they have in learning, or their differences in terms of their backgrounds and all of that, should not be emphasized. So the teacher should open conversations and discussions around things that will make the children to see the importance of inclusion. You know, for some children that have disabilities or physical impairments, you know, sometimes other children tend to focus on them, and somehow it might even get them uncomfortable. So, but the teachers can learn to celebrate their differences by reading some books about differences on race or disabilities or family structures or stuff like that, so that the children will, you know, learn the importance of inclusion and treating people equally. Because sometimes the teacher will be doing their best, but if the children are not also helped to make others feel comfortable in their lanes, they can as well be feeling bad and feeling odd. So the teachers can, you know, celebrate their differences by creating that inclusive environment. They can even make them to sit in a way that they don't feel that these people are a particular set and the others are this other set. So they can even arrange their learning spaces in a way that they accommodate all children, even the ones that have some special needs or things like that. They can all stay together, they can bond together, they can do some projects together. They can find a way to make them interact within themselves and support themselves in their different learning styles. So the teacher can foster this by also leading them by example, showing respect to all of them, not using some kind of words or these ones that have some kind of backgrounds or some kind of disabilities or limitations, and make everybody feel okay, and mind how they praise those ones that are showing so much progress and all of that. So the teacher should do all of this to avoid the segregation or stereotypes in the classroom or something like that. So I feel when they do all of this, these children will feel welcome, they will feel accepted, they will feel supported in the inclusive learning environment. So I think the teacher should do all of this and help these children to learn well. That's what I can add to that.
All right. Thank you so much, Madam Nkem. Thank you. Wow, that was awesome. Madam Olivia, are you back? Madam Olivia. Okay, Madam
Hello.
Olivia. Madam
Yeah.
Olivia, yes, we are talking about celebrating differences. Do you have anything to add to that? Celebrating their differences.
Okay, so I listened to Naza and I think she has said it all. One thing I would want to add is the use of a common language, even though it's not so common for um, educators to go and use different languages in a classroom where it's not supposed to, unless, of course, they are probably having a class where they are teaching individual languages where that particular teacher is assigned to come and teach probably a local dialect. Other than that, a common language should be used. So looking back to the picture that was shown where children are coming from diverse backgrounds, imagine picking a language of two or three, or maybe majority of the children, picking that their language and then you are teaching, you are not celebrating their differences because you are excluding some of them. So I feel as a teacher, it's important that you use a common language, the acceptable language that each child understands and is also able to communicate using that language to encourage inclusiveness. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Madam Olivia. These women they are wonderful. We've come to the end of today's class. It's already after 8. Madam Chinasa, please, if you're talking about the form, if you have any issues, we can chat later, and any issues concerning the form, you can, I will be available so that we can iron it out. Thank you so much,
Okay,
everyone.
no problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Kim, Madam Olivia. I really appreciate your time. It has been wonderful and has been interactive, and it's going to be a blessed month. March is going to be a blessed month, and we will continue next week, Wednesday. Before the end of tomorrow, everything from Wednesday,
Amen.
From Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and today, Saturday, before the end of tomorrow, it will be on the platform so that you can go download them and probably get to see one or two things, listen to one or two things that you missed. With that, do have a lovely night rest. Good night.
Good night. Thank you, sir.
All right, Ma. Good night.
Right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Good night, Madam Chinansa.
Thank you.